Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I'm on the Heidelberg University campus in the area of the university hospitals in search for some rare cherries. Like a couple decades ago when this hospital was built, the botany professor was included in the planning, and just today he told me he really made sure they plant a lot of rare and special cherry trees around here. And they plant cherry trees that have real fertile flowers and produce fruit. Well, this was a couple decades ago. And even then, I doubt that the students who draw the plan of the already planted cherry trees did everything right. A couple of those cherries, I'm not sure if they were not misidentified. Usually I'll go with the opinion of the students back then. They were not his students, they were another professor's students. Yeah, I'll go with the opinion of those students and with what's written in the plan. If you think that the cherries are different from what I tell you, please write it in the comments. Well, as I said, in the last decades a lot has changed with those cherries here. They have planted a couple of new cherry trees which are not in the plan. It looks like even some of the old cherry trees are not in the plan. It's not getting easier by the fact that in a lot of those cherry trees, like in this one, the graft is dying and the rootstock, this is a wild Prunus avium, a bitter wild Prunus avium, is actually taking over this tree. Basically the graft is dying and the rootstock is producing two new trees. Well, this year, according to the plan, is Prunus sargentii or sargentii, the Sachalin Cherry. Sachalin is an island in the Russian Far East, right north of Japan. Looks a lot like this cherry I filmed here nearby, which is simply called the Japanese ornamental cherry hybrid. I mean, maybe this Japanese ornamental cherry hybrid was produced using this Sachalin cherry. All those cherries I'm showing you, well, most of them are not the typical Prunus avium, which produced almost all of the sweet cherry varieties we eat nowadays. Those are usually other species. If it's a Prunus avium variety, I will tell you explicitly. So all those other Prunus species, usually they are not really tasty. They are small, they are bitter, yeah, the birds eat them, but for human consumption, they are usually not as good as our modern cherry varieties. However, they have a very strong taste, so sometimes I use them to make liquors or jams or stuff like that. So let's try those small Prunus sargentii from Sachalin. Well, yeah, tastes basically like wild Prunus avium. Really bitter. I would say they are not as sweet as wild Prunus avium. They are definitely fully ripe, which is quite amazing in the first days of June. We have a lot of cherry species and varieties around here which are still completely green, not even started to ripen. For example, this one, I think this is Prunus rula, at least that's what the plan says. Look at the fruit, still completely green. But this Prunus sargentii here on the southern side of the tree, a lot of the fruit are already so ripe that they are drying up. Okay folks, I'm gonna go search for some more rare and exotic cherry species, varieties and hybrids. Stay tuned for a lot more cherry videos from the University campus of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.